Hello everybody and welcome back to Lost Skies. In our last episode we finished up with island number 2, the Shattered Peak, and we're heading over to island number 3, which is, I should have looked it up before I did that, at Journey's End. That's what they decided to call that particular island. So yeah, we're on our way over to this island. We're going to try to figure out all of the data disks over there, find as much treasure and cool stuff as we can, get some more points. I don't believe that this one has, it does not have an arc, so we're not going to be able to do any upgrades, but it does have 5 data banks for us to find, so that's going to help us tremendously when we get to the next island, which I do believe has an arc after that. So, for those of you who are just joining us, this is our cool little skyship that we've built so far. Probably going to be the final shape that we're going to go with for the foreseeable future. We may tweak it a little bit, but just wanted to make sure we have... we're going to end up having to adjust this to make room for more core pieces, but that's fine. So yeah, let me finish getting over to the island, and then we'll start that whole process. Alright, after a little bit of sailing, we have made our way over to island number 3. I'm really annoyed that our quest here is not going to update. Kind of annoying, but fortunately this is only a temporary character, so I won't have to look at it. I mean, we're gonna be looking at it for, you know, another 30 plus episodes, but it's fine. So we'll park ourselves right over here at the edge, hold shift until our sails disengage, and then down we go. All right, so there is immediately data disk right here. So we'll go ahead and grab this guy. So that's 1 out of 5. Again, I am not a completionist, so I don't remember if I found all five of the discs on here, and if we don't find them either, if we get 4 out of 5, I am personally content with that. So that's why I have labeled this the mostly a walkthrough, because I'm not that interested in trying to spend oodles and oodles of time trying to find the things, find everything. So, I think there is another chest over somewhere. Oh, there we go. Oh. Anything interesting? Funnel nailer. We'll pick that up just because why not? Survivor's arm wraps. What do we have? Yeah, I think we're fully kitted out in Survivor's gear, so we don't need any more of that. But we will take the tech brief because, oh, why not? And I think there might be one more chest. Well, might be 2 more chests over here. Excuse me. Alright, so we got a bunch of stuff. Cool. Alright, and then what I typically do when I'm going through these is I kind of just fling myself around the edge of the island just to see if there's anything that I'm missing, because, you know, there's 35 islands in the base thing. I think you can actually download more from somewhere else because there's like an island creator or whatever, but you know, there's so many different islands, and trying to remember where everything is very difficult. So I don't think there's anything here. But we eat some food. We'll do this one, and then I should have some cooked mushrooms somewhere. There we go. We'll eat our cooked mushrooms. That'll give us some more stamina boost. And then we'll just kind of fling ourselves around the island this way. Ah, yeah, I knew there was another thing over here somewhere. So we'll go this way. I don't remember if there's a data disk over here. There's definitely stuff to get, so let's go do that. It's just some chests. We'll pick up everything over here, but yeah, like I said, I didn't think there was anything over here that was like, you know, chests and stuff are nice, but we're primarily looking for data disks. Chests respawn, data disks do not. You either find them or you don't, so we're mostly looking for data disks. That is what signifies our completion, not necessarily finding chests and stuff like that. So, we're going to continue going around the edge of the island here. I don't remember if there's anything down here. So, let's try to get back up here. Oops, wrong button. You're going to press the wrong buttons a lot in this game. Let's go up this way. And up here. Alright, so we're back up to the top. I don't think there's anything up on this part, but let's just check it anyway, just to make sure. Alright, yeah, a couple of chests. Pick everything up. Mostly just want to hurry up and get out of here before the drones get me. Okay, let's go check out this other peak over here, because, again, like I said, with 35 islands and each of them having, you know, sometimes six of them, just remembering where you find data disks versus chests versus, you know, there's just so much in the game that remembering, unless you've done it a bunch of times, you're just not going to remember where everything is. It's just too much. So we'll hop over here and hope that there's a data disk here as we spin gaily in the air. Alright, up we go. Putting ourselves up here. That looks like a data disk. So this will be 2 out of 5. It would help if it would actually select the thing I asked it to do. Go, get back on the gun. Alright, Survivor's Tower for Survivor's Trousers. Don't need to hold on to that. I think we have the Sentry Pistol already. We don't need Clear Reticence because I'm holding that in my hand right now. We can do that over there. You're gonna do a lot of inventory rearranging. We don't need to hold on to that or that or that. So that makes a little bit of room for some of this stuff to move. That can go there. All right. So I don't believe there was a. Oh crap! I put too much stuff on top of this. Oh no! I put too much stuff on top of the thing. Come on, give it to me. Can I? Why can't I get it? It's right there. Okay. Well, don't do that then. Make sure you don't pile too much stuff on top of things, because then that happens. We're gonna miss out on a couple of briefs, but that's okay. We got ourselves our 2nd out of 5 data disks, so that's good. Let's fling ourselves this way. Wasn't sure I was gonna be able to reach that one. There's a cave over here, so we can go check that out. Alright, let's get up here. And, alright, cool. We'll get our flare out so we can actually see. Oh, okay, there's a drone spawner here. Oh, there's a couple of drone spawners here. Hopefully they both don't. Crap. Oh, and I always forget that it doesn't start loaded. Crap. Ugh, this is gonna get annoying. I really wish that they would start the game with your weapon loaded. It's annoying that you have to remember to do that. That is super annoying that you have to remember to do that, because I'm constantly forgetting that it doesn't start loaded. Or at least, you know, stay in whatever condition you left it in when you exited the game last time. I always have my guns. I always reload my guns when I'm done. It's not something I shouldn't have to remember to reload my gun. That's unreasonable. That's not something I should have to remember to do at the start of every game. Okay, Survivor Shirt, Pilsar. I don't remember if we had the Pilsar or not, but whatever. All right, yeah, that's annoying. I really can't stand it when they do when that's the way that works. We're gonna pick up the rock salt because that gives us glass once we find glass shards. I don't know that we need any ore, so we'll just leave that for now. And unfortunately, we're getting into this super dark area where even the flare is having a hard time seeing what's going on, but that's all right. That's all right. Let's just make sure that we're in a... Yeah, this thing just curves off to the left. So let's go this way. Okay. I don't know if we needed to go down that way. I don't think so. I think that just leads down to the bottom of the island. So let's go this way and see if we can find... Oh! Woohoo! Okay, yeah. I think we are supposed to go down here. Oh yeah, definitely supposed to go down here. This looks familiar. Oh crap. Alright, so if you have your weapon ready... one barrel of ammunition is all you need to get through that. Okay, I am getting constant beeps on my phone. What is going on here? Okay, I don't know why it's continuing to beep at me, but it is what it is. We need to get in there. And I'm not sure... because I'm normally able to just kind of get in there. So clearly, in past playthroughs, I have just done whatever I needed to do to get in there. And I am not 100% sure what that was. I don't know if it's supposed to be killing drone spawners. And of course, you are... Almost got that done before he spawned. Where is he? Where is he? Come here. Alright, that takes care of him. So, I know that there are switches. There are some switches that get that open. Trying to remember... Oh, okay, that's right. It's over here. There's a switch that leads you into here. There is 3 of 5 right here. And then there are switches that allow us to open up those shields there. There's a bunch of chests here that we can open. We'll take the tech brief. We'll take the other tech brief. I don't remember if we had the support frame barrel. We'll take that tech brief. There's also a big chest here. Alright, survivor's gear. We're not really interested in that. Tech brief. Ah, I didn't want that. They need to fix this so that it doesn't randomly go in whatever order it decides. It uses the interface to decide where you're scrolling through, not the items on the ground to decide what you're scrolling through. That's super frustrating to accidentally pick things up that you didn't mean to pick up because the interface is being confusing. That's really annoying. Alright, we'll pick up the wind chime because I'm just not sure if we have it already. Alright, so that takes care of that. I also know that data disk number 4 out of 5 is down the pathway here. It's in that shielded area we weren't able to get through before that we should be able to get through now. So let's hop into here, and then or we can fall down the hole there, and then yeah, here's our. Every time I come here, it gets here just like this. I'm trying to get into here, and it won't let me in. All right, there we go. We can get our disc here. Why am I continuing to get beeps on my phone? I don't know. All right. So, what are you going to drop for us here? So tech brief. I don't need Galleon's driver. Oh, we definitely want the Galleon's driver. At least until we get motors. Pick up the tech brief. Open up the chest here. Another tech brief, so we can upgrade our tail sail. That's a decoration. I don't really care about that so much, but maybe we'll make some room for it. Yeah, we're gonna have to head back to the ship here pretty soon. Because I'm running out of room for everything. Guess we're just gonna have to leave that. Don't really have any plans to use any of the figureheads, so it's not that big of a deal, but yeah. Alright, so that's 4 out of 5 so far. So let's take a second here. Funnel nailer, I don't know. Let's just take a second and look and see if we actually have it. So ship. Oh, I don't have any ship weapons on the list there, so we definitely don't have the funnel nailer. We already have the wooden bird figurehead. Shape wooden connector. There's no way to check that. Large curved lip panel. I don't remember if we got that before. Do we? I don't know. We're just gonna have to hold on to everything because I don't know if we have any of that. Right, this brings us to a chest, a set of chests. Sorry. So some more briefs. Ugh, I don't want to leave these behind. We're gonna have to get rid of the venison here, I guess, because as much as I have plenty of food, it's not like we're low on food. So we'll just do that. Makeshift wooden wingtip, offset split wingtip. What was this one? Recipe, don't really care about that. And then we'll take some medium ammo. Anything else we can... I don't want to get rid of the rock salt because I would like to eventually make some glass. I don't remember... I have a bad feeling that these are from my inventory on the ship. So, we're just going to have to leave that stuff, which kind of sucks. And then this here leads us somewhere. I don't know where it leads us, but we're going to find out, I guess. And that's 5 out of 5. Cool. All right, so we'll get this scan. We'll grab we'll grab whatever treasure we can, you know, reasonably carry at this point. Maybe we'll get lucky and some better gear, some better clothing will drop, or we'll just get more survivor's gear. There's always that. All right. Those are both decorations, so they're not necessarily the most important thing in the world. We'll grab the tech guide here. We'll grab these tech guides here. And yeah, I guess that's it for that. So, we found all 5 of our data disks on this island. That was pretty quick. Hopefully most of the islands can go that way. So let's get back over here. We'll do some inventory management. Up to go. Alright. So, oh. Yeah. Well, I guess that would be why we're struggling, is because I don't have any storage on the ship. Okay. Let's go ahead and see about putting a shipyard down, because we can't walk around with our entire inventory in our freaking backpack the entire time. That's just not gonna work. So, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and I have a design that I'm using on a different character that's actually a minimalist design that I'm probably going to go ahead and do for this character just so it's quicker to get between the islands. We're not really going to be doing much in the way of combat with it when it comes to the ship stuff until we get to, you know, some of the other stuff that we have going on. So, I think what we're going to do is we're going to disassemble, maybe. Well, hold on. Let's go to the research table and clear out our inventory. So we'll do all of that, So let's, we'll learn all of these little recipes here. If I can, they really need a learn all button. Oh my God, they need a learn all button. This is really annoying. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and upgrade our galleon's driver as much as we can. No, we're gonna upgrade our weapon. As much as I want the speed, I want the damage from our thing more. All right, now we'll go ahead and the galleon's driver is going to be our biggest speed increaser for now until we get the engine. So, and I don't know exactly where the engine's going to be. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay. So now we've cleared out a significant portion of our inventory. Let's clear out this. Since we have to disassemble our sails anyway, I'm just going to completely clear out all of the... Oh, come on. I really want them to change it to where the stuff just goes back into your inventory. We're going to clear out all of our equipment, all of our sails, and we're going to completely reshape the ship to follow the form factor that I did for my other one, because I've gotten it down to 3 sections and 4 engines on that one, and man, it goes faster than 40 knots. So yeah, let's grab all of this. All right. You see what I mean? Like, it's just so annoying to have to come down here over and over again to do this. There's no reason it can't just spawn back in your, or just pick it back up, and all the pieces go right back into your inventory. No reason for that. All right, so that's that. And then, oh, hold on. Before I do that, I want to hold on to as much material as I can. So, unfortunately, that means, because if you just disassemble it, you don't get anything back for the stuff. So I'm going to take all the panels off so that we can get our wood back. They've made the process of building the ship a little bit more cumbersome than it needs to be. I mean, I love this game a lot. I've been obsessively playing it for, I don't know, how many hours have I been playing this game? How many hours have I been playing this game? Hello. I have been playing this game for 170 hours. So, you know, I love this game. Don't get me wrong. But it's got some design. See, this is my problem. This was my problem with Path of Exile 2. Like, it's not that the game is bad, but the decisions that are being made as far as how you interact with the game is just infuriating. And it's like, it's not bugs. These aren't bugs that need to be, like, fixed. They're decisions that were made by people who thought that this would be a good way to make this work. I'm not going to think about efficiency or, you know, making sure that we're not wasting people's time at all. We're just going to do it this way because I think it makes sense. No. Do it in the way that's the most efficient so that we can spend more of our time playing the game and, you know, designing the ships rather than fiddling with the interface that doesn't work, well. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have to spend time screwing around with materials and inventory management and all that stuff. I want to play the game. I want to design my ship, and I want to place things, and I want to fiddle with my parts of the process, not your parts of the process. So it's like, can we please fix this inventory issue here so that I'm not constantly having to go, you know, trying to pick up materials that should just spawn back in my inventory. Give it to me. All right. Is there any more wood floating around? Okay. Now. So, the design I have in the other one is very much... hold on. What's going on here? Let's make sure that this is fully baked. So, the design I have in the other one is... We have a middle section here, and then I add, let me get rid of the symmetry here. And then I added a section over here, because at some point, regardless of the design that we do, we are going to need the additional core piece. So I want to have enough room to at least have a core over here, and then the Atlas enhancer off to the left, and then we need some space to put put our crafting benches. And then, because we don't really use the cooking station and the furnace that much, we're just going to go without and just hold the materials on the ship to be able to craft the on the island versions when we need them. So the way I kind of have this one working is I believe I have it kind of angled like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we'll just do it like this for now. We'll place the pieces down as best we can because I want to get the Atlas or the core piece down. I know that this is more or less really short like that, and then we end up doing something like that. But again, I'll just kind of place it there for now. Let's craft this. We can always adjust it when we're done. Okay, so that's what we have for now. And then as far as structural pieces, we'll do wooden decks there. And then we can come up here and fix this wooden deck. I'm not sure why it didn't place one, but that's okay. And then, so yeah, we'll do half panels all around. Nope, not there. Right there. 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 And then we'll leave that open so we can get in and out. And that goes there. All right, so our skyship core... Our skyship core, do I have copper? Of course I don't have copper. Of course I don't have copper. Lead versus iron. Okay, well, at some point we're gonna have to replace it with copper, but that's all right. We'll get there. So I need to make sure I leave enough room for the Atlas enhancer. So we're gonna have to put it a little bit more forward than. Oh wait, hold on. If I put it all the way to the left, I'm a little concerned with the spawning mechanic. I don't want it to like spawn me into the pillar here. In my other ship, I have it set up so that I have a little bit of room for chests. I think I had this centered here. But I don't know, maybe we'll risk it on this one. So let me just double check and make sure it's not. No, we need to have a little bit. It needs to be a little bit forward. It needs to be a little bit forward. Maybe not that far forward. Can I get it? I think it needed to be a little bit forward because the Atlas enhancer ends up running into this pillar here if I try to put it later. I don't think we have access to that yet. Yeah, we don't have access to that yet. Okay, and then, so the Atlas enhancer will go here. And then, since I don't have access to it yet, what we'll do is we will just go ahead and put our two things down. I eventually have the research table over here. Is that straight or is that straight? That's straight. I eventually have the research table kind of over here, and then we kind of pull this wall in as far as we can. So what we'll do for now is, I'm just going to put, since we can save the space and the weight for now, since we don't really need that. Since we don't really need the space yet. And then, yeah. So let's go ahead and fix this then, since we don't really need that space. So we can edit this, and we can do something like that all the way in, and then we can do this. So we'll pull it as far in as we can. All right. So that's not going to let the greatest for now, but at least we have the We also need to fix that. That's annoying. We at least have the pieces where they're gonna go. Actually, I think I do need to add a little bit more so we have room for chests. So let's just fix that then. Fine, we'll do it that way. So I think for this one, so we'll just go ahead and make the shape that we're gonna make, and we'll just have extra space until we have the thing. So for this, I believe we had the farthest one all the way out, and then this one ends up going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't remember how far it goes in. That looks pretty close, and then I think this was like 1, 2, 3 or something. I end up really pushing it in kind of close to that, but I don't remember exactly what the dimensions were. So we got that down. So now we have room for, because what I end up doing is I put my, oh, that's not what I'm trying to get to. What I end up doing is I end up putting my workbench kind of right here at an angle. Gotta kind of finagle it. Okay. I end up putting my workbench right here at an angle, and then this guy goes over in the corner, and then in the other iteration I have this guy more in the center with the thing over there. So I think what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and move this for now, and then we can figure out where we're going to put our chests. So the Saborian research table I will put right here. Right. I have to place that first. Yeah, the placement of objects in this game is a little bit overly fiddly. They require too much space around certain things, and it's actually quite frustrating because you could place things, you know, visually you could place them, but because the objects have an arbitrary buffer zone around them, you end up having to make serious sacrifices that you wouldn't have to make in the real world if this was like a real thing. You wouldn't have to make these sacrifices if it was if you were able to like just place things where you wanted to place them. So I really would like for them to change it so that it's not. Come on. I would really like for them to change it so that the clipping is not based they need to fix the clipping zones. Okay, we're gonna try to get this as far into the corner as we can. All right, and then I don't know. We're gonna end up putting the Atlas enhancer right here. That doesn't really leave any room for chests. I don't really want to have to move it. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put a couple of cupboards down just to get them where they go. So you go all the way against the wall there. You go all the way against the wall there. And then I'll place the core down next to it, and then hopefully when we get access to the Atlas enhancer, we'll be able to just do that. So you go there, you go there. 2 cupboards should be enough for the foreseeable future. Okay, and then we put the essentials. We put our skyship core. So fortunately, the skyship core has a little bit more of a buffer room around it than. I don't think that's going to be enough. We're probably going to have to push that stuff out, but at least for now, this works. All right, so for this part here, we're going to put our crafting materials that I typically hold on to. So I typically hold on to those. Put these down here. We'll put this here. We'll put this here. And then rock salt can go there. I typically have a row of like individual sized things that I put there. And then raw materials I typically put in a separate chest by itself. So I don't usually hold on to wood, but in this instance we will, since we don't really have that much stuff anyway. So these are crafting materials. You can go there. I really do tend to hold on to Atlas as much as I can, because I had a bad experience where I spawned on an island that didn't have any Atlas shrimp, and I wasn't able to get anything. I wasn't able to get off the island. So I typically try to make sure. So hold on. I need to hold on to some iron here. There's some lead, and there's some scrap. And then conductive vessels and wood. Wow, we have a bunch of junk just kind of sitting in our inventory. Medium ammo. Put that there, put that there. We don't need small ammo. Food. So boom, 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 boom. And you go there like that. And then we'll put you there. You can go there. We'll put you there. And you can go there until we get our hip light. All right, cool. Let's get back into our other inventory here. Horns can go there. The electrical conductors can go there. We're going to hold on to all of our metal. We'll hold on to the sticks for now, just because why not? I'm not hurting for space at the moment. Okay, so now we need to get our helm down. I'm going to place the helm right there. All right, cool. So that takes care of the interior shape. This will be the shape that we go with for a while. I'll put a single wing once we get it off this side. Once we get engines in the Pilipi wing, I'll put a single wing. It's going to be an asymmetrical design. So this kind of takes the right side of everything, and then we have a wing that comes off to do the left side. But for now, we may have to adjust this to make it flat, because I do still need as much sail on here as we can get. So let's pull the cloth back out, because I forgot that we still had to put sails down. So you go there, and we do still need the wood. That's probably where all that wood's going to go. All right, so first and foremost, we need to put our... Painted myself into a corner here. Painted myself into a corner here, because I'm not going to be able to access the sails with all this stuff in the way. So, for now, unfortunately, I do believe that we're going to have to add a couple of sections on the back. That sucks. We're going to have to add at least one section on the back. We will pull it forward as far as we can. I just needed to have enough room to put the sails that we had. And unfortunately, I don't have enough metal to craft that. So let's hop back into here. How do I not have enough? Oh, man. Okay. Well, I'll figure this out between now and the next episode. But ideally, what's going to happen is I'm going to put a square sail here, and then the other sail here, and one on either side, and I'll remove that wall there and make it so that we can I can just run straight to the back. And then once we unlock the engines, we can get rid of this section. I can put the engines on like I had for the other one, and the wing and all of that. And then we will have our ship set up the way that we need it. But for now, unfortunately, I have to do some mining to be able to get that, and or I can just pause and do it now. Just give me a second. Alright, this is one way to do mining. I didn't feel like going to find a cave and do a bunch of spelunking. A lot of times you can just kind of go under the islands and find chunks of mineable material. So you just have to do a little bit of repositioning, and it is very difficult to not hit the thing when you're doing this because you're swinging around, but if you're careful, you can get... Hold on, you gotta be really careful, because I think if I hit this thing one more time, I'm screwed. There we go. Alright, we got ourselves a stack and a half of ore out of that, or a stack and a quarter of ore anyway, so let me go back. I don't know that I have the stone that I need either, so that's going to be a problem, because I ended up throwing it away thinking I didn't need it. And unfortunately, you do need the stone for that. So let me look around for some stone, because I'm pretty sure we don't have any, and throw it out. Alright, found the stone I needed for that. We'll go ahead and craft our iron. So hopefully this will be a relatively quick and easy process. Let's hop down here. I believe all it said we needed was some iron. So yeah, we're good with that. So we'll craft this. And then if we need to adjust the dimensions, it doesn't change the material requirements, so we don't need to worry about that. So, of course, now it's dark. We're not going to be able to see anything that we're doing. That's okay. We're going to do the half panels again. And then we're probably going to end up not having enough wood to do what we need, but, you know, it is what it is. So, basic square sail. We need 2 of these. So, oh yeah, we definitely need more room. Unfortunately, we're going to need more room. Great. So, this is what we do. We go down to the bottom, and we extend that panel out so that we have room. If I could see, they really need shipyard lighting. That would be extremely helpful. So we'll just pull this panel out as far as it goes, and then I'll just push it back in rather than continually having to come back down and redo it and redo it and redo it. All right, so you, Galleon's driver, turn it that way, and then you go right there. Okay. Square sail. I can't see. I think that's probably it, but I don't know. No, that's a little far. That's a little too far forward, I think. It's so hard to do symmetry here because I can't just. A lot of times you can't just stand right where you want to put it. I think that. No, that's not it. It'd be so nice if I could actually see. Yeah, but if I want to use my prism, I have to switch over. It's like they really need to add some shipyard lighting. This is unreasonably complicated to do. All right, I think that's where the other one is. And then probably not gonna have. Oh, we do. Wasn't sure we were gonna have enough of that. All right, you go there. Okay. And then, of course, we don't have enough for the last one that we need. Actually, I should have paid more attention to that. The lift provided by this is 172 versus 137. So this is still better. So what are we missing? We're missing cloth, actually. Okay. So all we got to do is just run around and find some fibers, and we will be able to get this done. So let me do that. All right, we're making our cloth now, so we're just going to wait for that to finish. So now, hopefully, we have enough. We do need to adjust our ship design yet again, because we need to make room for the... Let's see, 1, 2, 3... we'll just do it like this for now. Just do it like that for now, because I don't want to have to do it a bunch of times. Remove this panel. Then, ideally, we can get our last galleon's driver in like that. Get him centered. Boom. Actually, the center of the ship is kind of off to the right, so we'll put that kind of right there. I mean, theoretically, we could put another one. A little bit more power never hurt anybody. Alright, cool. So now we have two square sails and 2 driving triangle sails, which is good. So now we can move this back over here. I'm actually going to put it right into the structure of the sail there, something like that. That should work. That should work fine. And then we need to put our half panel back so we don't accidentally walk off the back when we're coming back here to do that. Structural, half panel, and boom. All right, so for now, this will work. This will be fine. Let's just double check and make sure that we can actually activate all the sails back. Oh, helps to remove the other piece that I need, huh? All right, so we can activate all 3 of these. Cool. And then we can activate all 3 of these. Awesome. All right, that'll work for now. And then when we're done with the sails part of this, we can entirely just remove this entire section back here, close this off, and then put the engines down like I had it on the other one. So that's going to go ahead and do it for today's episode. It ended up being a lot longer than I was expecting it to be, but sometimes that's how that works. Hit the like button, subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers, join as a member for early access to videos, among other perks. Or you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with the thanks button. I also have PayPal and Patreon links for those of you who prefer to go that route, because some people do like to go outside of YouTube to help out with channels and stuff like that. So that option is there for your convenience. So again, thank you very much for watching this episode of Lost Skies. Be sure to come back for tomorrow. Oh, you know what? I need to start moving on to the next island, so that way you guys don't have to wait for the next one. I thought about that at the beginning of the episode and just completely forgot. But anyways, the next episode is going to be... the next island is going to be island number 4, which is called Thieves and Retribution. It is a medium difficulty island, and it is off to our northeast. So we'll definitely be heading off into that direction. But yeah. Let me disassemble this, get on my way, and that's going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. So again, thanks for watching. Be sure to come back for tomorrow's episode, and I'll see you then.